Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It seems as each week passes here in Season 2, things just get more and more interesting. We started the season obviously with a ton of content, between the new Battle Pass, the new maps, and all that jazz. Then we got a ton of Battle Royale info, or at least what we presume is the Battle Royale with Warzone. Now this week we have even more content to prepare for, as Infinity Ward revealed part of the upcoming update next week. And, well, it's got some pretty interesting things included in it for pretty much every single aspect of the game. But before we break it all down, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on to stay on top of the latest Call of Duty news and intel, tips and tricks, and all that good stuff. And of course, if you enjoyed the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Now, the majority of today's intel actually stems from yesterday's community post from Infinity Ward. If you are unaware, every week, or I guess almost every week, they end up releasing a community update blog post that details a small recap of what took place in the previous week's update. Then they also go ahead and preview a little of what's to come in the following days as well. So this week's recap actually has a bit more information than what we're used to seeing, as we actually got two smaller updates throughout the week to fix various things in-game. So with these updates this past week, we actually got fixes for regiment clan tags not appearing correctly, players being unable to claim existing battle pass tokens, players receiving an error during gunfight tournaments, multiple back-end adjustments, a bug where numbers on the team roster were not the same as the COD caster minimap, an exploit in the CDL gunsmith, and finally an issue on Pointman specifically where kill streaks were not working correctly. So honestly, quite a few changes ended up going live this past week just in the background, and something they didn't mention but was also fixed is that of the 3-3 clan tag glitch that appeared during the week, but we'll touch a bit more on that later on into the video. Anyways, continuing on through the rest of this community post, we then get into the preview of what to expect next week, and here's where things take a pretty surprising turn if I do say so myself. Infinity Ward ends up saying, what's coming next week? We've got some 3v3 snipers on Rust action coming your way, along with Infantry Ground War, a tweak on regular Ground War where there are no tanks or APCs. We also will be adding in a brand new map, Bazar, into the rotation as well, and to make the weekend even better, we'll be turning on double XP starting on Friday. So literally, we got like, 3 sentences of preview, and now we've got a lot of information in regards to what we can expect to see as a part of Tuesday's update. Now keep in mind, this is not all the content we're going to see next week, and we'll get to that here momentarily, but at the bare minimum, this is all guaranteed. So Snipers Only 3v3 on Rust is coming as our little gunfight variant. Typically, it seems every week we have a standard gunfight playlist, and then we also get a variant for Gunfight 2. And this kind of combines what we've seen for the past 2 weeks, as we had the 3v3 Snipers Only a few weeks back, then of course we had the Rust 1v1 playlist this past week. So this takes Rust 24/7, cuts it down to 3v3, then adds in the Snipers Only dynamic. But one thing I will mention about this is that the older 3v3 Snipers playlist actually had all the snipers without any attachments whatsoever, which actually made it a lot less fun in my own opinion. You know, it was kind of weird using all these snipers, the car, the AX-50, the Dragunov, whatever, and he didn't have any attachments, no sniper scopes, nothing like that. So hopefully this time around, the snipers will be customized some to add in a bit more variety into the mix, I guess. Then the main standout for me out of this entire community post is the news of the Infantry Ground War mode, which is basically what I've been wanting really ever since the beta. The tanks and the APC, I think, are the biggest drawbacks of Ground War. I think they are a very crutch item. You know, Karst is just tanks on a mountain for 15 minutes straight, and genuinely, I just don't feel like they add to the mode all that much. So to see a whole Ground War mode where you don't have to worry about any tanks or APCs being dropped into the map to disrupt the flow, I think is going to create a very fresh feeling version of the mode, where, I don't know, ideally people might want to play a little more aggressive, just because there's not that afterthought of, oh, if I run out here, I might get tanked by that guy just chilling over there. So hopefully this ends up being a pretty fun mode, and I for one am certainly looking forward to it quite a bit. Then of course, we also got word that Bazar will be coming to the game next week, and if you recall, this is actually a gunfight map. I know Infinity Ward does not say that in this blog post. I'm kind of surprised by that. I think that might lead some people to believe it is a new map in general, but this is going to be a gunfight map. We did see it on the Season 2 roadmap. It was actually originally supposed to come to the game at the very start of Season 2, but Infinity Ward ultimately ended up delaying it until Tuesday apparently, but it will provide a nice change of scenery for those who actively grind out gunfight matches. But really, there's not too much to say about this one. Then after that, we do also see we're getting a new double XP event starting next week on Friday, and that'll probably last until either Monday or Tuesday morning. Now for this, once again, there's really not all that much to say about it, but I believe we've actually had an XP event of some sort take place every weekend since Season 2 launched. And with this double XP event next weekend, that will effectively be double XP and double weapon XP in the first week. Of course, we had double weapon XP this week, and then we've got double XP next week. Now, I'm not sure if that's just coincidental because we had the whole Valentine's update with the playlist-based XP on the first weekend, or, maybe this is actually going to become some kind of trend. Perhaps come 2 weeks we'll see some double tiers, or some other kind of event to keep people grinding throughout the season. I don't know, it is just a theory, but it does seem like we are getting a lot of extra help along the way so far, which, hey, I'm certainly not complaining, bring on the events. Now, that effectively does it for the actual community post this week. However, thanks to the devs interacting with players on social media and whatnot, there are a few other things we can be on the lookout for next week as well. Over on the subreddit, a user commented about the Tamagotchi watch that we heard about forever ago. I want to say like a few months before the game released is when we first got word of the Tamagotchis, and even a few weeks back, some players saw it appear in their store, but it wasn't active quite yet. But that said, Joel Emsley did say it should be available really soon, as it is completely fixed, working, and ready to go any day now. So while it is no guarantee per se, we could end up seeing the Tamagotchi watch added into the store with the shop refresh come Tuesday. Now, on top of that, Joel did also end up confirming that there is going to be another new calling card added into the game soon, although this one is not nearly as crazy as the nuclear calling card or anything, and instead this is simply a Scottish flag calling card for players to rep if they so choose. But as you can see, Joel says it is likely coming in the next update as far as he's aware, which as far as we're aware is going to be on Tuesday. We don't know if we're going to see a title update come Tuesday. My guess would be probably not, but of course we don't have any confirmations there, so we can't really go into too much detail on that for now. Then of course we can't just skip over the elephant in the room when it comes to what could be taking place in the very near future, and we all know what I'm referencing here, Battle Royale, aka Warzone. If you missed it, Activision is definitely taking the Warzone leaks a lot more seriously now. They've gone after a few individuals recently, and because of that, moving forward, I will say I am going to be a lot more cautious with what we cover here on the channel. But regardless of that, really any day now we could be seeing some actual teasers or other hints appear in game. As I mentioned earlier, the whole 3-3 clan tag glitch caused quite the conversation on social media because people were thinking that the clan tag change occurred as some kind of hint for the Battle Royale release date, 3-3 being March 3rd presumably, but honestly, we just don't know. Infinity Ward claimed that the clan tag change was a glitch and that it's since been resolved, so really, who knows? Maybe it was just a very, very odd coincidence, maybe it was an actual teaser. We're just gonna have to wait until March 3rd to find out, I guess. But nonetheless, we definitely need to stay alert in game because just like how they teased Ghost back prior to Season 2, we could very well be seeing some new teasers appear in game with any given update at this point. So, between all the new content we're going to see come to the game next week, the brand new Bazar map for gunfight, the new modes, of which Ground War Infantry really catches my attention, and the other various surprises we could see added in, I'd say we're in for a pretty interesting week, all things considered. And of course, as the new updates go live, we'll be covering them right here on the channel. Anyways, with all of that being said, that is effectively everything that ended up being revealed about what kind of new content we'll be seeing come to the game in the next few days, and that is going to wrap things up for today. Out of everything we know is coming soon, what are you the most excited for? Is it some sniper action on Rust, the change of scenery over in gunfights, or maybe even the Tamagotchi watch? Drop me a comment down below with your thoughts there. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it, and of course, if you're new here and you want to stay up to date with the latest Call of Duty news and intel, updates and leaks, and pretty much everything else in between, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on, that way you'll always know when I post a new video. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL on all Scuff, G Fuel, Control Freak, and Respawn products. All of those links can be found down in the description below. And also, if you guys ever want to come and check me out over on Twitch, I am streaming pretty consistently over there 4 or 5 times a week, sometimes even more. And that link is also down below if you want to give me a follow over there. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.